Hey friends, Tiffany here. Welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, then welcome, and I hope you consider subscribing if you like what you see. Today I've got a list of 20 free and cheap summer bucket list activities for families and kids. I'm gonna do 10 free things and 10 cheap or budget-friendly things. So let's go ahead and get started. If some of you have been watching for a while, you know that our family consists of my husband and I, and we have a 5-year-old son named Jackson and a 4-year-old daughter named Alice. And they are out of school for the summer. As many other children are starting to get out or have already been out, we developed a bucket list of things we wanted to do this summer. Now, some of you might be asking, well, why would I want a bucket list? We're just going to do the stuff that we normally do. And my answer to you is, if I don't have a plan in place, we are probably going to do a whole lot of nothing and then regret it when school starts again. So I went into this summer with intentions of using our time wisely and doing things that are easy on our budget but also fun for the family. I want to make sure that we're spending quality time together and really being intentional with that time and the activities that we do so that the kids have fun, learn something along the way, and we can call the summer a win when it comes time to go back to school this fall. I'm gonna go ahead and give you our 10 ideas for free things first. So number 1, play in the rain. Where we live here, it rains a lot during, well, not a lot, but a lot during the summer. Maybe you live in an area that it doesn't rain, so this might not work for you. But I would love to get out and play in the rain and jump in mud puddles and just enjoy ourselves with the kids. Number 2, go to the library or local bookstore. A lot of times they have free children's story times with crafts. Now, where we live, we're in more of a big city, and so our library puts on a summer reading program, and that has like crafts and prizes that go along with it. They have weekly children's story times there. But if you don't have a library that does something like that, check out Barnes & Noble or some other bookstores. Our Barnes & Noble does story time on Wednesday mornings and special story times on Saturdays. Like they just had like a Pete the Cat event with story and activity, for example. But check out your library and bookstores for their summer activities. Number 3, go to Home Depot or even Michael's craft store for their kids' crafts. Now, Home Depot is free, Michael's is not, so this could go in 2 categories, but I'm throwing Michael's in there just to kind of jog get your creative juices going. But Home Depot does have free kids craft once a month, and you can sign them up on the website, and the kids can go, and with adult supervision, you can do the craft that they help guide through. Number 4, if you have a smartphone, I highly recommend downloading the geocaching app. This is so much fun and free. The only thing that it may cost is if you live in a more like rural area, you may have to drive between locations, but geocaching is fun for the whole family. It's basically like a live treasure hunt, and we've done it in the past. We want to start it up again this summer now that we're living in a new area. But download the app, take a look and see what geocache spots are around you, and just try it out. It's really good time, and the kids love it, and my husband and I love it too. Number 5, this is something that I did growing up. We lived in the country though, so it might be easier in that type of setting, but it's to catch or chase fireflies. This is definitely free. It's something that I did growing up, like I mentioned, like when we were outside playing with family or had bonfires going and the fireflies were out, we would catch them and play with them, and it was a lot of fun just running around the yard. So that would be another free activity to do in the summer evenings. Number 6 is to have a picnic in the park and feed the ducks if there are ducks there. I combined this because one of the parks here do have ducks, and so when we go to do this, because these are things that are actually on our summer bucket list, when we go, we will plan a picnic and safe duck-friendly food for the ducks. Number 7 is to play board games. So maybe on one of the rainy, thunderstorm, yucky days, you stay inside as a family and you pop some popcorn and you play a board game that you already have. For us, the game that we specifically want to play, because we keep forgetting that we have it, is a game called Zingo, and we just bought it on Amazon, but it's kind of like a kids bingo game that helps with word matching, and so that's one that's on our list to remind us to sit down and play that with the kids. Number 8 on the free list would be to stargaze. So maybe you do this the same night you're out catching fireflies, but lay a blanket down, and once it gets dark, go out and teach your kids a little bit of something about the constellations. Show them where the Big Dipper is. Look at the stars. Now, you may live in an area where there's a lot of light pollution, so this may not work as easily, but I think it's a fun activity to mix in education and fun in one activity. Number 9 is to look for an area or a place, venue that puts on like free music or like concerts in the park that are free admission. We have an area here that does that down by the water, downtown, and there's food trucks, and it's just like a really fun environment, but there's live music, and so it just gives you something to do that doesn't cost money because you don't have to eat at the food trucks. But if you wanted to, you could probably just pick up a snack to share with the family, but music is always fun. And number 10 on the free list is to search for free museums or behind the scene tours. And what I mean by that, in our area, there's a free tour for one of our soda pop bottling companies, and you can go in and see because it is produced locally. And so their tour is free for families. You just have to call and get on the schedule to do so. But I know there are some free summer museum programs out there. We don't really have any museums in our area, so this was the next best thing. But search for free tours or museum entrance for summer for free. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the cheap or budget friendly 10 ideas that are off of our personal budget or bucket list, but that you could incorporate into your family and summer as well. Number 1 is to get snow cones. I don't know of many other foods that scream summer or carnival like a snow cone, but we have a local snow cone place called Loco Ice, and we can get one of their large snow cones. It's not the standard snow cone, it's like shaved ice rather than like the chunkier snow cone, but we can get like a large one that the 4 of us share for under $5, and so that's a really budget friendly fun snack for a hot summer day. Number 2 is to do a 4th of July craft or just some sort of summer craft. And for me personally, I plan on hitting up Dollar Tree or some of the craft stores in the area using the 40 or 50% off coupons like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and just getting like a pre-made craft thing. I am not creative, so coming up with my own craft is not really something I'm interested in, but just getting like a little craft of some sort to help celebrate the 4th of July or summer in general, and do that with the kids. Number 3 is a water gun and water balloon fight. And the only reason I put this on the cheap list is because we don't personally have water guns or water balloons yet, so we're probably gonna have to hit up the dollar store and pick that up, but it's a very cheap and inexpensive, and bonus if you already have that stuff on hand, it's a free activity. Number 4, something that my husband and I really enjoy. The kids aren't necessarily that great at it because they haven't had a lot of exposure, but mini golf. I'm sure you can find a place in your area that might have mini golf specials, or like check on Groupon for any of these like activity type things and see if you can snag a Groupon discount, but mini golf would be a fun one for the summer as well. Number 5 is if you have a local farmer's market in your area, go check it out with your family and then make a fun recipe or snack with the ingredients that you find. I don't recommend going in with like a recipe in mind because you might not be able to find the things you need, but just kind of browsing the farmer's market, picking up things that are good deals price-wise, but like really healthy options, and then making something with your family when you get back home. Number 6, get an ice cream cone. Just your basic, simple ice cream cone. Nothing fancy, nothing over the top, but as a child, we used to go to Dairy Queen and my mom would get us just like the basic vanilla cones, and it's one of those memories that I have now, years, decades later, that I will just always remember. So just go enjoy a simple ice cream cone. Number 7 is, I guess you could roll this into like a random act of kindness, but for us, I want to make cupcakes and share them with friends. So not necessarily like have a party or anything like that, but just making cupcakes with my kids and then sharing those, because we don't need an entire batch of cupcakes in our household for just us, and then sharing them with friends. So maybe you go drop them off, you put them in like a cute little like treat box or something and share those with friends, so that way you're kind of doing a random act of kindness and paying it forward to the people in your life. Number 8, check in your area for movie theaters who offer summer movie like programs. Like around here there's a $1 discount theater that does like children's movies. Sometimes I've like heard of theaters doing where you buy like a movie package for the summer, and like on weekday mornings, like a Tuesday morning, they will have kids movies that you can take your children to, and you just buy like a $10 ticket and it covers like the entire summer's program. But look into your theaters in your area to see if anything like that is offered, so that way you can get out of the house. It might be movies that you've already seen, but just, I know my kids, being at the movie theater makes it an entirely different experience, and so for $1 per person, you can't really beat that. Number 9, something that I think my kids will enjoy and is kind of trendy right now, is to make our own slime. And specifically, I want to make fluffy slime, and so it's a little bit different consistency. And with that, you're just going to get on Pinterest, find a recipe that looks good to you personally, and then the only cost would be purchasing the ingredients. And you may already have the ingredients on hand for some of the recipes out there, so this would actually cost $0 in that case. But I know my kids love slime, and so making our own is a fun educational activity that we can do together with very little cost involved. And number 10, even if it's not the 4th of July, light sparklers. We did this the other day, so we've already checked this off our list, but we had a few boxes of just like your basic sparkler, like firework things that you light and walk around with. And we went through 3 boxes between the 2 kids out on the back porch the other night, and they enjoyed it, and it was cheap. For us, it was actually free because the sparklers were gifted to us. But you can pick up sparklers for really, really cheap, and it's just a fun activity to do in the evening. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe it gave you some ideas. I'd love to hear what's on your summer bucket list, so please drop me a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye.